Josh Peterson and I reevaluate our opinions amidst the doom and gloom of the summer movie season as a revival of good movies are coming. Is it enough to save the summer for audiences? Will Marvel's Inhumans actually be a thing or just another ABC Marvel failure? With the PlayStation, Steam, and Xbox summer sales going on, and with Amazon's right around the corner, is it the best time of the year to stock up on gaming fun? Plus, we have Douglas Hoyabu from Retro City Games talking about the Super NES Mini coming to store shelves, and Anthony Barberin stops by to talk all the latest NBA news. Plus, we get a taste of the latest podcast from Humanity Media and another hit song from Moy. And we also reflect on 45 years of Atari. It's another organized cavalcade of podcasting fun we have for you today as we reach our next stop, the PCC Multiverse. And we're back with another episode of the PCC Multiverse. My name is Gerald Glassford from Pop Culture Cosmos and Game Source. I'm here along with my good friend. He is the man, the myth, the legend behind Humanity Media. It's Josh Peterson. How are you, my friend?
Good, man. Hey, does it ever get hard to raise your voice that high when you say the Pop Culture Cosmos? Or does it ever actually crack when you're doing it and then you just play it off like production value?
I think you just like tune out when I say it because it has cracked and it has been hard to do on more than one occasion. That's all I would say.
I'm sitting here like
Pop!
Yeah, I'm like, you make that sound so natural. Like I couldn't even tell. Like if you were to crack your voice in public, like I would just assume that you're introing the show.
Well, I know Rob McCallum, director Rob McCallum of Nintendo Quest, a good friend of both of ours, and also as well someone who helped start up the Pop Culture Cosmos, listens to so many of our episodes, and when he's not on them, of course, he always, you could see the cringe in his face every time I do it. So when I focus in on doing the pop, I know it's always for him. So just a little shout out to our good friend Rob McCallum out there. So before we get into it on everything going on with the Pop Culture Cosmos show and also PCC Multiverse, what is going on with the great things happening at Humanity Media?
It's just business as usual. We have the What About This podcast. I'm hoping to release it tonight because I'm going to be out of town until Wednesday. And then we have Super BS, which you will probably hear next week. We had a fill-in for Eric named Dave, who is actually, I think he did fairly well for his first podcast. So can't wait for you guys to hear that. Other than that, there's going to be more Topicocalypse released as the week goes on. We're working on a few other things, but you'll find out soon.
Oh, that's awesome to hear. And also, don't forget, everyone, Josh has uploaded on his YouTube and also throughout Facebook on the Humanity Media, Game Source, also as well Pop Culture Cosmos. He continually updates and reposts, all that E3 action that we got earlier this month. Just some of the games included Everybody Loves Golf, Gran Turismo, Far Cry 5, the latest Call of Duty, World War I, and so many other games, Super Mario Odyssey. He always continually uploads those, reposts those links so that everybody can make sure that they catch all the great action of those upcoming games that was shown at E3 2017. So check that out on Humanity Media YouTube, or just go to one of our social media pages on Facebook, and you'll be able to catch it right there. And speaking of Pop Culture Cosmos and whatnot, just make sure if we are for 4 months in a row on the Monday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific. It's the Pop Culture Cosmos show, and we truly appreciate you being part of the PCC Multiverse, 7 p.m. Eastern here now, and 4 p.m. Pacific every time on every Friday on the Podcast Radio Network as well. And if you can't get us for some reason on the Podcast Radio Network, don't worry. each and every week we download these shows, make them available for download, streaming, sharing, what have you, on over, I think it's at least 12 different audio outlets, including iTunes, Stitcher, podcast.com, TuneIn, Mixcloud, the ESO network, the Tangibound network, the Gonna Geek network as well. You have the ACE podcast network. You also have Overcast.fm, and there's at least a couple more that I off the top of my head I'm just running out of so many superlatives to tell everyone out there how great it is to be able to download all these through these various different downloadable channels. So it's just great indeed. And if you do download the show, or if you do stream it, you get an extra podcast or a little extra something we put on the end of each podcast indeed. So it's a great podcast we have for you. It's got a lot of stuff going on, so better just, kind of get to it right away, because we got a lot of stuff coming out from Anthony Barberin talking NBA, Douglas Hoibu talking the Super NES Mini, talking also as well about Inhumans and so much more. So Josh, I really want to talk, I guess I want to reevaluate our position that we had recently when we both kind of thought it was going to be a doom and gloom as far as the summer's movie season is concerned, because there's some good stuff coming on the way, isn't there? In fact, right now as well.
Are we talking about Baby Driver?
Absolutely. Baby Driver is getting a lot of positive reviews. You're about ready to see it, and I know that.
Yeah, I'm actually going tomorrow night. Hopefully it's good. I know there's been a lot of bombs this summer. I think that's just people are slowly realizing that they are becoming fatigued of franchises, with the exception of Guardians of the Galaxy. But yeah, I think Baby Driver is going to be good, and I'm really holding out hope that The Dark Tower is going to end up being good, because that's kind of another sort of standalone film, though it's based on novels, but it's kind of a big original, I guess, as far as film goes. It's what you would call an original blockbuster. It's not connected to anything. So
absolutely, and Valerian, I'm hoping that does good as well. And you've got great reviews already that are out and available on Spider-Man Homecoming and War for the Planet of the Apes. I mean, both of those actually tested out already and previewed in advance several weeks ahead of time, because it looks like the studios had a great confidence in those films, correct?
Yeah, I haven't opened up any of the Spider-Man reviews, but the headlines have been fairly positive. I know IGN scored it really well. The guys over at Kind of Funny scored it really well. It scored well on comingsoon.net. So I'm hoping it's good. A lot of people are saying it was worth all the screw-ups that we got before. And as far as Planet of the Apes goes, I haven't read anything about it yet. It looks good, and I want to see it, but I haven't really got opened up any critical reviews of it or anything.
Pretty much the same theme going on with each of the reviews is that it's a nice way to close out the series, at least this part of the series, because at some point in time they're going to reboot the series again. But at least the start of this movie series that started with the James Franco, because I know we were talking about it before the broadcast, and we were talking about which ours we're talking about, but this certain trilogy right now, as far as dealing with Caesar primarily, as far as through his trials and tribulations for him and his his group of that he's trying to protect and trying to help flourish. So it's a great way to end the series according to what they're talking about. A very poignant, very sentimental, and also a strong finish to the actual series is what I'm hearing and what I'm reading time after time after time again. So that's great news for fans of Planet of the Apes, a series which you and I said was, something that seems to be, always like underlying there. It wasn't something that people talked about as a blockbuster, but when you look at it, those movies have garnered pretty strong box office dollars and have exceeded expectations each and every time. So definitely looking forward to seeing that as well coming up, and hopefully that it would be a great sign for movie fans. But all in all, it looks like the summer movie season could be salvaged after what I have to consider one of the worst Mays ever, don't you think?
Yeah, let's hope. I've been kind of bummed. I've been kind of bummed so far. So with the exception of King Arthur. But let's not talk about that right now,
Uh,
because you're wrong. But yeah, it hasn't been everything that I hoped it would be, and I don't see it shaping up. I know we got Dunkirk coming out too.
exactly,
Hopefully,
too. That's obviously one we haven't talked about.
yeah, I'm hoping that one's good. We'll just have to see. I'm kind of personally, I am fatigued of franchises. Like, I want to see something that I can go in, spend my money, sit there for 2 hours, and not have to worry about a sequel.
Even though most of them are setting up themselves as to be as such. So yeah, Dunkirk obviously cannot be something like that, and that's good news. And hopefully it will be from Christopher Nolan. He's obviously had such great work over the past few years with the Batman series, Interstellar, which it was good at times. So I'll just leave it at that. Way too long, but it was good at times. So definitely, he's created some great work over the years, and I think this will hopefully fall in line as well once we see the reviews. But to keep up to date on what's going on in the movie world, you can check us out, Pop Culture Cosmos, on Facebook. And if you have any questions, or if you just want to share your opinions on some of these movies, or if you want to share your opinion if this has been up until now one of the worst summer movie seasons ever, and you think we're totally right or you think we're totally wrong, that's no problem. You can just share your opinions with us on our Facebook pages at Humanity Media, Game Source, or Pop Culture Cosmos, or also as well, you can send us an email, popculturecosmos@yahoo.com. So like I said, it's going to be a great broadcast here today. We're going to be talking a lot of stuff, including I had to stop Josh before we went on the air because he's really got that itchy trigger finger to go buy and spend a lot of money, and we'll tell you why. Especially if you're a gamer, you're going to be very excited about all this stuff if you're not knowledgeable about it already. So we're going to give you some insight on what to look forward to with the sales going on coming up here in a bit. We also got, like I said, got NBA news coming up with Anthony Barberin, got Douglas Hoibu talking more about the Super NES Mini, which finally got officially announced as far as release date is concerned. So, it's something Nintendo's it should have had the NES Mini been canceled. That's a moot point by now. They're moving on to the Super NES Mini, and we're going to go do that as well. So I spoke to Douglas Hoibu at Retro City Games about that as well. And then we also are going to later on, as we close out the show, talk about 45 years of Atari and what Atari has meant to the industry as well. Well, like I said, it's going to be a great program. We got a lot lined up for you, including tastes from the latest podcasts that are coming up from Humanity Media. We're going to get a little taste of that during the show as well. But first, we got a song from a returning gentleman coming back on with some music. It's Moy. And this is Turn Around from Moy, right here on the PCC Multiverse. And we're back with the PCC Multiverse. My name is Gerald Glassford from Pop Culture Cosmos and Game Source. I tried to do the extra pop for you there, Josh. Really appreciate you being part of the broadcast here today. I'm here along with my good friend, the man, the myth, the legend from Humanity Media. It's Josh Peterson. Josh, I really want to ask you, have you had a chance to see the latest trailer from Marvel's Inhumans?
I have, and I'm not very excited about it. I'm probably not going to watch it. Like, if it comes out on Netflix and I could watch it all at once, I probably will, but I'm not going to, keep going to my TV every weekend just to watch it. It honestly, it just doesn't look exciting to me. It looks like it's kind of on the lower budget side of Marvel's properties, and I'm just not that fascinated. And I didn't even like reading about them in the comic books. I remember having crossover issues with the Inhumans. I'm like, really, and I'm just flipping through the pages trying to get to the end of it. So I'm just not that fascinated in it.
Well, do you think it's going to be another ABC Marvel failure? Because they really, I thought there was going to be some promise with Agent Carter, but that failed after 2 seasons. That got canceled. ABC Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is... do you really want to call that a success? Yeah, it's going into 4th or 5th season, but do you
survived. It's not a
Yeah.
success. It's just in survival mode. But yeah, no, I think that's why they're making it a mini series. But the thing is, like, I think the hype level is so low right now because originally they announced that it was going to be a movie. Sorry, you know, and it's going to have Vin Diesel in it, and it's going to have a big line of actors. Going to release 2018. It's going to be awesome. And then it just like, and then it was a you know, this movie might be happening, or it's going to be a straight to DVD release. And then now they're saying it's going to be a television show, and then they're like now trying to bring the hype back up. They're saying it's going to be a limited run series, and you can watch it in IMAX. But that's still not enough to make me want to go pay to watch it.
Not for me, not for myself either, because this is just something that's a little bit disappointing indeed. I'm just, I don't know. I understand because of the Disney Marvel ABC triumvirate. I know they really want to still broadcast television still has its merits, and you know, trying to be able to put something of the Marvel universe, although it doesn't always really tie into the Marvel universe in any way. It's like, 'cause I remember when Inhumans was pushed back as a movie to maybe 2020 and beyond, and then it evolved into this series. And like you said, the big name actors all went bye-bye because of it. So it just doesn't have any panache for me. It just looks like they're having fun in Hawaii, because I believe it is actually being taped in Hawaii. So I don't know. It just looks like that they cannot find that happy medium. Superhero shows outside of the CW just really have struggled to find any kind of proving ground with audiences on broadcast television. Is that correct?
Yeah, just because they get stagnant, and Marvel has this problem where they want to connect everything, and that's cool. But like, I don't. I originally I looked at Agents of Shield as like a tie-in series. I'm like, yeah, this is cool. And then 4 seasons later, I'm like, no, I don't want to watch this anymore.
I
And
mean, I
same
was a
thing.
huge fan of Agent Carter in its first season, but yeah, by the time the second season came around and they moved to LA, and it really just kind of I don't know, they tried to veer a little bit away from the MCU and all that, instead of just trying to maybe associate it with some of the more interesting aspects, in my opinion. But that's neither here nor there. Just that I know that series went on a high, came in on a high, and it really just ramped down the interest level real fast.
Yeah, my big thing is, so like, if you're gonna give us a series that's tied into your films, don't don't pretend that the films aren't happening. Like, give us some like a more concrete connection to make us feel like we're making progress in watching the MCU. Like, make it because I know with like Agents of Shield especially, they tend to dance around. They make references to like Captain America and Hulk and whatnot, but they dance around it. And whereas like they do that in the Netflix shows too, but at least those shows are interesting. You can expect them to end after 12 episodes. You don't have to like sit there and be like, oh man, this is, you know, we're gonna watch another 30 episodes and go on for 4 more seasons.
Yeah, 22 episodes each year, so it's hard to fill up all that space and time.
Right. So it's just I'm not interested in it for that reason, and I'm also not interested in it because it is a TV show and it probably got a very low budget special effects thing. So I and just looking at the lady's hair, like the costumes and the special effects and the trailers, it looks like it's another David Hasselhoff, Nick Fury movie waiting to happen.
It looks like it indeed. What are your thoughts on Marvel Inhumans? Is it something that you really are looking forward to? Are you going to watch it in IMAX in theaters, or are you going to, or just watch it when it comes on ABC? You're going to follow it. Is it something that has piqued your interest, or is it something that you just going to toss to the wayside and actually watch the real Marvel MCU that so many others are actually going to be doing, instead of watching another on the fringe ABC Marvel love fest? Tell us your thoughts, popculturecosmos at yahoo.com. Also, as well, you can try us on our Facebook pages at Humanity Media, Game Source, and Pop Culture Cosmos as well. And we're back with the Pop Culture Cosmos. And we're back with the PCC Multiverse. My name is Gerald Glassford from Pop Culture Cosmos and Game Source. My name is Gerald Glassford. Like I said, excuse me, try it one more time. And we're back with the PCC Multiverse. My name is Gerald Glassford from Pop Culture Cosmos and Game Source. We truly appreciate you being part of the broadcast. If you want to get a chance, if for some reason you cannot get the show on the Podcast Radio Network, that's no problem. You can download the show at any point in time. And also the Pop Culture Cosmos show as well, our Monday show, the number one show on the Podcast Radio Network 4 months in a row. You can get those shows, download them or stream them anytime at all. Just check it out today on iTunes, TuneIn, the ACE Podcast Network, Overcast.fm, Player.fm, Google Play, the Gonna Geek Network, Stitcher Radio, Podcast.com, Mixcloud, the ESO Network, and the Tangibound Network as well. And when you do, we always throw in a bonus in there for you as well. So, Josh, I've kind of told you not to do it, but I know you're itching to do it. You want to go and get at those sales that are available now on Steam, PlayStation, and especially for you as an Xbox fan, the Xbox One. There's a lot of great stuff going out there. If you're not familiar and you're a big gamer out there, basically the Steam summer sale has been something that the past few years is really something for fans and gamers to look forward to. And in doing so has garnered a lot of attention and a lot of acclaim. So in order to play with the big boys, PlayStation and Xbox have done the same. We've also got Amazon going to do their big sale here in a couple weeks. But I ask you, Josh, now that you've become aware of all these sales that are all going on right now, what are some of the games that you're targeting, and what kind of deals do you think that you're going to be getting out there when you go ahead and hit that Xbox One power button, like you
right
did,
now? Boom.
like you did just now.
Actually, I'm kind of itching to buy some of these games. So,
which ones are of interest to you?
Right now, I have a back catalog of games that I want to play, but I don't own. So, like, I do want to play Wolfenstein. Maybe Watch Dogs 2. Probably not though. The Witcher 3, I definitely want to play. I do want to finish Skyrim. I had the special edition. I had it, but I sold it but I traded it just because there's other things coming out I wanted to play. That's kind of it. I want to try the Metro games. Never played them, but they're $5 each, so I figure why not? Other than that, like I'm looking at the PlayStation list right now, and I'm interested in the God of War 3 remaster because I never played it.
I know for me on the PC end, the Serious Sam series you can get in its entirety for $6. So
really, okay.
Yeah, around $6, 6 or 7. So yeah, that's an incredible deal. And the Shadow of Mordor, the Game of the Year edition, is currently on sale on PlayStation Plus. Members get it for $3.99.
Nice. Yeah,
these are sales that are. You better check the PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, and also Amazon for how long these sales are going to last. So,
where can we find out what's on sale at Amazon?
Well, they haven't shed any light on it yet. Over the coming days, they're probably going to sneak peek a few, but remember they do those gold box deals and whatnot on a regular basis. But yeah, they're going to do shedding more light and info in the coming weeks because it starts July 11th, so it's a little bit of ways away. They might give you some info, and if they do, we'll be able to post it on one of our Facebook pages, either Game Source, Pop Culture Cosmos, or Humanity Media. So look out for that. We'll definitely forward those links over as well. So nothing yet from Amazon. So
yeah. So that's my TV. Yeah, I'm because I want to see what Amazon has. Like, I like downloading digital games, but I also like to physically hold things. So I'm old-fashioned like that.
Yes, it's been pretty much with the Amazon sales, though. It's been pretty hot or cold. Some of the deals are really good. Some of the deals are like, okay. As I was telling you, the first year that I noticed the Amazon big, huge sale, they had this, a lot of stuff that was like antiquated, like a, back of the warehouse type stuff, old PlayStation 2 games that they were trying to pass off, that you get brand new. It's like, I don't want that. Then they started realizing that they got a lot of feedback from consumers out there, and have more recently gotten a little bit better about their sales and exactly what they're doing their big slash discounts on. So it's definitely, if you're into electronics or you want to keep an eye on that, because they could really have some good deals, and they're going to have to, because people are spending a lot of money. At least gamers are right now at this point in time, because the Steam Summer Sale definitely takes up a lot of interest from gamers that on the PC end, and definitely now that PlayStation and Xbox have thrown their hat into the mix. Definitely some great deals as well. If you've got any great deals you want us to let everybody out there know, share us your thoughts, popculturecosmos@yahoo.com. Also as well, Humanican Media, Game Source, and Pop Culture Cosmos on Facebook and Twitter. When we come back, we're gonna play a little clip from one of the latest podcasts from Humanican Media, and then we're gonna close out the show. This is the PCC Multiverse. And we're back with the PCC Multiverse. My name is Gerald Glassford from Pop Culture Cosmos and Game Source. We truly appreciate you being part of the broadcast here today as we close things out. Josh, it's been a great episode so far. We've had a lot of stuff to talk about, and we appreciate Douglas Hoibu and Anthony Barberin for being on the broadcast here as well. Before we head on out and we actually just reminisce about some great stuff that have gone on many years ago. With a great company that's near and dear to both our hearts. What's going on with Humanican Media?
Yeah, we have a new What About This coming soon, tonight, hopefully. And sorry, my dog is getting mad at me here. I'm talking in the background there.
The dog is not a fan of Humanican Media right now at this point, which is definitely a shame, since you are the creator and owner of Humanican Media. You could just hold out a meal for maybe just a couple minutes. Hey, you can't have this nice juicy T-bone steak until you like Humanican Media. Something like that, anyways.
But yeah, so we got What About This and Super BS coming at you. One will be tonight, one will be next week. And new Topicocalypse too next week sometime.
That's great news indeed. Well, to close out the show, I wanted to reminisce a little bit about some, a anniversary this week because this week was the creation of Atari, as it's too near and dear to our hearts, and what a great company that has been. No, obviously it's still not the conglomerate giant that it was back in the heyday, but it's still remembered fondly in pop culture. In fact, if you've seen the latest trailer for Blade Runner 2049, again, the Blade Runner films are going to be utilizing Atari and the logo, the famous logo that's been known all around the world. And yes, Atari might even, they've talked even about doing a comeback as far as trying to sell one of a console that will play the games, from the past and maybe even some from the future as well that they're going to create up. So there's been talk and rumors about a new Atari console coming out very soon. But Josh, before I go and reminisce on my love for Atari, let me know your fondness for Atari and what Atari means to you after 45 wonderful years.
It honestly doesn't mean anything to me. I never owned one, never played one. My mom and my aunts and uncles had one when they were younger, but I've never seen it. Like I watched the documentary, so I have a lot of respect on that side. But yeah, I've never actually touched one before, so I can't say that I revere it.
Spoken like a true millennial right there for you. No, I'm kidding. That's just the age difference. I mean, that's because Atari is almost as old as I am. So I can tell you I got my first Atari 2600 at a very young age. I remember getting that, and I thought it was so awesome. And I played it until the controllers, the covers came off, and I played the sticks. And yeah, like everybody else at time does, because those controllers were really just not that durable. And just playing Pitfall and Pac-Man and all those great games that were available on the Atari, which like good friends like our Retro City Games still you can walk in and buy today. It's fun because you can still go and see the games now on computer, but you can also go and still buy a unit and reminisce about the good old days, or you can play those Atari flashback machines, which can do the same thing as well. So those are some great times for me. I guess it may be because of the generation gap. It's a little bit harder to come to grips with it, but that's okay. That's okay. We respect that. And like I said, maybe Atari will come back to the forefront in gaming at some point in time. Like I said, they've talked about doing a new console, so maybe that's the future indeed. Obviously, it's not going to be something that's going to come right away, but definitely something that could be around the corner. And hoping for good things for Atari, because I'd love to see them stick around another 45 years, and hopefully 45 years from now, the Atari logo will still mean something to a lot of people. If you have thoughts on Atari and the console itself, you have great memories of the 2600, the 5200, the Lynx, or whatever Atari memories you have, share your thoughts with us, popculturecosmos@yahoo.com. Also, as well, Humanity Media, Game Source, and Pop Culture Cosmos on Facebook and Twitter as well. So, Josh, any last thoughts on the way out? On anything we talked about, or happy July 4th to everyone out there. Although we'll have a Monday show, so definitely we'll share our love then.
Yes. So don't blow yourselves up before then. I know some of you like to shoot off fireworks before and after the 4th of July. So just don't hurt yourself. Be considerate of other people's dogs, and buy some of these sweet games.
Especially yours.
Especially mine. Mine's very temperamental. He doesn't like not being paid attention to. But go buy some sweet games. Awesome.
Definitely. He's already doing so as we speak on the Xbox One. And we'll stress this again on Monday, but I'm hoping everyone out there has a safe and happy July 4th weekend indeed. Go check out some great movies. Despicable Me 3 is going to be hitting theaters. Baby Driver is already out in theaters. And The House, whether or not it's going to do well, we'll see. The latest Will Ferrell comedy, but just go out, check out some great movies out there, that maybe one you haven't missed, or one that's coming out this week, or otherwise just buy some games, play some games, just have fun with family, barbecues, cookouts. Just happy and safe is all we're asking right here from the Pop Culture Cosmos. So for Josh Peterson, this is Gerald Glassford. It's another beautiful day in paradise here in the PCC Multiverse. We thank you for listening. Josh, get off the Xbox One. There you go. Josh was ready to order, but he's got to do the finger thing now. And here's hoping you have yourself, after we buy a few games, a great day.